So thank you, Nat. Now we'll be talking about the facilities that we have here in BAScii. So just to clarify, we're here at the Jamturi SIP building, and we currently have the third and fourth floor to ourselves. Okay, so now let's just have a quick tour of some of the facilities here to just give you a glimpse of how it is like. Enjoy the video! Okay, so the video ended, but let me just touch upon each of them again to give you a clearer understanding of what we have here, because the video doesn't include everything. And so just to recap, the third floor is mainly where our classrooms are located, and it is self-explanatory because we spend most of our time studying our lectures here. On the other hand, the fourth floor is where students could hang out or use the area for study purposes. And there are 5 main areas, which are firstly the hangout area, which when you come to the fourth floor, you'll see this big red building. And yeah, it's actually really big. And secondly is our workshop room, which we use for meetings, group projects, and also events. For example, our Christmas party event, we also use this room. The third room is the student study room, and we use this to study, but we can also hang out there. But we should be a bit quiet because some students are revising or just recapping what they learned. The fourth room is the fabrication studio, which is where some of us chill and play ping pong there. Lastly is the student lounge, and this is where students can relax or just do whatever they want really when they have their free time. Okay, so now moving on to the most exciting part of our presentation, which is our student life. And so let's just talk about transportation, because this might be very important for people to know when you're coming here. So again, the building that we are located at is the Jamturi SIP building. And as you can see from the map, it is quite close to the BTS, so students can travel easily from their home to the faculty and vice versa using it. And so if you're coming, you can get off at the National Stadium. You can also get off at Siam, but you'll have to walk further that way, so I don't really recommend that. And or students can choose other ways to come to the faculty. They can come by private cars or whatever they like to choose. Next is the places near our faculty. These are the places that are pretty near our faculty. So this is where most of us go during our lunch breaks. And normally our lunch breaks are 1 hour, but it could be longer than that. It depends on what subject you're taking or what day it is. And so from the left top to right bottom, we have MBK. It's very, very close. You can just take the skywalk and then it'll basically just reach MBK right away. And we have Suan Long Square, Ho Nai Jila Cafeteria, I'm Park, and Jilapat 14th Cafeteria, which is basically the dip cafeteria. So Nat, where do you and your friends mostly go for lunch break?
For me personally, I mostly go to Ho Nai cafeteria or dormitory cafeteria. The food there is pretty cheap, like real cheap, and the taste is also good, and it's also like really close to the faculty. It's only take like 2 or 3 minutes walk from the faculty. It's pretty close, and so I can have a lot more time to sit there and like have a chat and slowly enjoying my lunch with my friends. Yes, that's the place that I go the most. Yeah, what about you, Pat? Where you usually go for lunch?
So my friends and I like to go to, different places, but if you're asking, like, for example, what kind of cafeteria we like to go to most, I'd recommend the Jilapat 14th one. I think the food there is also really good. And it's quite on the cheaper side, so you can save money, if you go there. But, if you're like you want to eat Korean food or like Chinese food, you can go find it like in I'm Park or like Suan Long Square. I think those restaurants are also very good. So you just got to explore around. MBK is also good, but if you're a BAScii student, you're gonna go to MBK a lot, and yeah, it's gonna get a bit boring after a year or so. So yeah, I guess it really depends on the person, but yeah, that's for me. Okay, so next. After talking about food, I'm actually pretty hungry. Okay. So as we mentioned before, we said that there's a student study room where students can use. But if you don't want to use that, you can also go to the library. The library is actually in our building, so it's very convenient. But the perks of using the library is that you gotta be quiet because it's a library, people are actually studying or reading books. So if you want to find an alternative where you and your friends can actually talk a bit more, I recommend the Too Fast Coffee. It's also very close to our faculty. It's right beside ScII. So yeah, you guys can go have a look when you're around here. Although BAScii is only in its second year since launch, students have worked very hard to establish faculty clubs and activities for other students to enjoy life outside the classroom. And now we currently have many actually. So one of the first ones I want to mention is the BAScii camp, which the 001 students got to go to Pattaya and did so many fun activities there. But unfortunately, we haven't held it this year because of the pandemic. And I hope in future times the pandemic will get better and we'll get to go again. And we also have Halloween Day, where students can dress up in their Halloween costumes. And actually, I was pretty impressed by Nat's costume. He had bruises on his face and it looked so real. I thought he got in a fight. And yeah, we also had a Christmas party this year where we had drinks, food, and also ice cream. And we also had games, which the teachers also played, and it was really fun to watch them. Okay, next we'll be talking about more on the sporty side. For example, if you're in the school's basketball team or football team or volleyball team, you can join as well. We have a basketball team and a football team, and we also have a volleyball team and a cheerleading team. For these types of activities clubs, like sports and cheerleading and whatsoever, normally these teams will compete during the Freshie Games and the Inter Games. And moving on, we also have a music and performance club, which so far they have done a really good job as well. They performed at Lido and also our Christmas party. And lastly is the ScII Smile Club, which they help fundraise free surgery for the people who have cleft lip and cleft palate. And I think it's for a very good cause. So whoever is interested, you can also join this club. And yeah, that's basically it for the activities/clubs that